Graeme, you've got quite a history with this place as a South African cricketer. You came here as a very young Test captain, and you've seen a lot of success.
I have, I think my first memory, so when I just got out of school, I started playing 1 or 2 games, stayed with Jimmy Cook down in Hampshire, and probably the first time I ever came into London by myself. I had a very old Honda Ballard that was given to me, and it had very limited brakes, no radio, there was no Google Maps back in the day, so getting into London to play for Hampshire Twos against Surrey Twos was my first, and then coming out here and playing, eventually getting to the hotel and getting to the ground the next day. It was my first experience of the Oval live. It grew into one of my favourite places to come and play cricket. Back in 2003, we lost the last Test match here to draw the series, and then every time we came back, there was many good occasions. First series we won in England, we held the trophy here. I know we lost that last Test, and then we won the first Test here in 2012. My 100th Test match for my country was played on this ground. So yeah, lots of fun memories on an international level.
And that was one of that 2012 game was one of the most special innings in the history of the Oval, wasn't it? That innings that Hash played was just monumental, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean Hash's 300. The way we came back from being in a really tough position after day one, fought bowled England out. I think to be able to perform personally and get 100 in your 100th Test match at the Oval was something that was a dream come true. And then to sit back and watch Hash just pound the English bowlers all over the park. First South African batsman to get 300. He loves batting in this place, and it was a wonderful day, and going on to win the first Test.
And does it mean to you, someone who really loves the game and loves not the statistical side of the game, but the history of the game? South Africa, obviously one of the most historic Test nations. To come and play here, you look up at the gas holder and you think that W.G. Grace played in the first Test match under this gas holder. Don Bradman walked out the bat here, Viv Richards in '76, and just many of those great moments of the game. Do you feel the history in this?
Yeah, place? I mean, you know that there's been many great players, teams that have come before you into this environment and performed extremely well. So to grace the environment that they did, to hopefully play your part in the history making of the Oval is an incredible thing to look back on and to share it. And I think you can feel the energy in this place when you walk into it, whether the ground is full or empty. It's a wonderful ground to play at, beautifully kept. Pitch offers a nice balance between bat and ball, and there's been lots of outstanding performances because of that, and there's a lot of good people around the Oval that work here that make it what it is also.
I was going to say that is something that with the occasion of the 100th Test, you look back at the history of the ground as an occasion to do that, but also it's an occasion to take stock of where you are as a ground and think about where the future goes. And it's one of the things I think the Oval is so good at is having that history, but also really being a part of the cutting edge of the ground. And it's always, you look at the developments of cricket, and a lot of them, the Oval is very relevant to a lot of those developments.
Yeah, I mean the game is constantly evolving. Life is evolving. You've got to stay relevant. I think the Oval in particular has managed to do that. Adapt with the times, but still remain true to their value system. I think that is important. Understanding your roots and where you've come from, but then also trying to stay relevant in a time and a world that is ever changing. And fast pace. And I think the Oval has managed to do that. Every time I come back here, I'm always amazed at the emotions and the feelings that you get from being here. And seeing the buzzing crowd out there, it brings back a lot of good memories.
And the final bit I want to talk to you about the Test specifically this year. It's going to be England South Africa in the 100th Test. It's going to be a slightly different South Africa side to the one that's been in recent years. Obviously, AB is taking a break from the Test stuff, and Dale's not going to be quite fit for that series. But what do you make of the game? What do you think? What do you see happening?
I think it's going to be a cracking series. I think it's two good teams. I think there's lots of firepower still on both sides. Obviously, from 2012, a few players have retired. A few, maybe not playing all formats. But I still think it's shaping up as a hell of a game. It's going to be, I'll be back over here for that Test series. I think it's going to be an exciting one, and the Oval will offer the platform for those players to come out and put on a show. And I think that's going to be the wonderful thing. This place is an incredible ground. You know what to expect. It'll be wonderful atmosphere. The pitch will play a solid part and allow players to really, showcase their skills for the crowd and the world to see. And let's hope that Test series is tight and it ebbs and flows a lot, and really, keeps Test cricket at the forefront of our game.